Come on, let them say ya. Come on, let them say ya. That in my business, you catching fever. Getting serious like empty river. Ain't no stopping by the river. And as we coming, we sweeping, we cutting, we moving all the way. Yeah. We coming, yeah. We better start be coming. As we coming, we sweeping, we coming. And then when we meet up, stick, we better start be coming. Now you watch it, come on, man, yeah. We coming. We better start be coming. When the year is been checking you again, cause you go up. We coming. We better start be coming. They are meant to sort out. We coming. We better start. Come on, let them say ya. Come on, let them say ya. That in my business, you catching fever. Getting serious like empty river. Ain't no stopping by the river. And as we coming, we sweeping, we cutting, we moving all the way. Yeah. We coming, yeah. We better start be coming. As we coming, we sweeping, we coming. And then when we meet up, stick, we better start be coming. Now you watch it, come on, man, yeah. We coming. We better start be coming. When the year is been checking you again, cause you go up. We coming. We better start be coming. They are meant to sort out. We coming. We better start.
Well, let me say welcome again to another fresh edition of the program, The Bottom Line. This is Tuesday, the 18th of April, 2023. And my name is Linford Goa, along with Paul the Lord Churuple. Tonight, we'll be here to bring you issues for discussions, and we expect your fullest participation. And we hope that you'll be an integral part of the discussions that we will be having tonight. Paul, let me say welcome to you. How is your end?
Linford, my brother, I'm in good, and it's good to be here again once more on Bottom Line. My end is great. How your end?
Well, my end is great, and we still have a lot of snow on the ground, and the temperature was very low yesterday. We had like -7, but today, amazingly, the sun was shining, and then at a certain point, it went to 11 degrees positive, and I was like, what? And it was really hot. People were walking with t-shirts, even though uh, when the temperature is hot like that and the snow is on the ground, the air is still cool though. But I
Right.
mean, it's a sign of improvement, and we're moving. So, but let me just inform you. I put the radio on. If you can check it to make sure that it's going,
Yeah.
then that will be fine. Um,
Oh, I think I got it on already, Linford.
oh,
So
okay, but okay. So,
let me
um,
double check before we go anywhere. Yeah, the
yeah,
radio is on.
I actually had it on, but
Right. I might
I
have.
have it on. Okay, yeah, but I think it's we on the air. And so, to you, our viewers, we just want to inform you that we simultaneously podcasting on Facebook, on YouTube, and also on our online radio. That's radio. That's the Borderland Radio. I used to be with this radio LRB. So, but you can catch us on either of those media outlets, and you'll be a part of the program. Tonight, we're going to be discussing interesting issues, and Paul, we had a weekend, and I think we spent a weekend together in the beautiful city of Stockholm. Did you have any experience from Stockholm that you want to share with our viewers? And after which we will be, playing our musical interlude while we share the video.
Oh, thank you, Lynn, for we had a wonderful time in Stockholm. On Friday, we arrived in the evening. We met Liberians. There was a meet and greet. A few Liberians were already there. We met at our member's house. It was great on Friday meeting people for the first time. Some of the people I've not seen before. It's just Zoom, and I was happy to meet them. And on a Saturday, we did a tour in Stockholm City. Uh, we went around with what they took us to the castle, a lot of beautiful places that we saw, and we met up for a meal, a drink, and then the evening on that Saturday evening, we all gathered together where we had discussion, and then we had Mr. Cummings on a Zoom that he was able to speak to his people over there, and after that, there was Q&A session. And as I can tell you from that interaction, when Mr. Cummings spoke to people in that room, it's like if you drop a, a, a little pin needle, you will hear the sound. That has quiet people were they really wanted to listen and asking interesting questions that he was able to. And I can tell you from those who interacted with Mr. Cummings for the first time in that room, I can say that look, after Mr. Cummings left, we people from talking to people, you could see that yes, he had won them over. So I can tell you it was great being there and meeting all of you guys again in person. It was great. And we're looking forward to June. And that did when it's announced, I think it will be the biggest event in Europe. Yes, it was great.
Okay, I was there as well, and uh, it's just what Paul said was what happened. We had a meet and greet on Friday evening. Paul flew along with other members of the ANC from the UK, but I took a chance to drive because I like this driving thing where I can stop on the way, grab a burger, you know, catch a bottle of Coca-Cola and get back on the road. It's interesting, and so it was great, and we met some people. Who actually are not associated with the ANC, and we also were able to meet some officials of the ANC. I mean, this lady who is the district chair lady for district number four in Monrovia, and she's in Stockholm studying. And so it was a cross section of people. We met people. People came from Finland, and people came from far away from Stockholm, other parts of Sweden, to come. And this was not the actual program where Mr. Cummings was supposed to be present. I mean, he was supposed to be present on that particular weekend, but because of some schedule, the trip was postponed to sometime in June, which date we are yet to come up with. But it was just to keep the momentum going that indeed the members of ANC and ANC supporters in Sweden was supposed to gather so that we can keep that feeling burning. But I describe it as a preparatory meeting. We get prepared the ground. Like John the Baptist was preparing the ground for Jesus to come. So we prepare the ground, and it's all set now. Mr. Cummings can come. The people in Sweden and the surrounding areas, as well as other parts of the Scandinavia, they know for sure that Mr. Cummings will come because Mr. Cummings was on a Zoom meeting with them. He talked to them for more than 30 minutes. We had altogether 1 hour. Talked together for more than 30 minutes, talked to them, and then they came the Q&A, and they asking all of the questions they thought they wanted to ask. And Mr. Cummings ably asked those questions, answered those questions. And I don't think anybody that asked questions left from there with any doubt. And I overheard some people, indirectly saying that, well, okay, since we have talked to you for the first time, or you have talked to us for the first time, now we know what you can do. we will be supporting the ANC. That's one of the things that I gather from there. And of course, when it comes to the beauty of Stockholm, I think that was my fifth time going to Stockholm, and so I was out as well on the streets, and so it was all great. And I want to take this time to uh, send out our big shout out to Orito, our co-panelist on this program, Orito Menon, who was also the host for us or the hostess for us in Sweden. And she and her team, Sis Dolly and the mother of Orita, our mom, and they all did well. The food was great, and the ambience, the surrounding was just too great, and we I want to say thank you. And that particular Saturday was also Orita's birthday, so I want to say happy belated birthday to you, Orita, from the Borderline team. We are with you. Our gift is what we're giving you now. We didn't give you anything, but at least we can say happy birthday. Yeah, Paul.
Yes, yes. I think, yeah, happy belated birthday, Lorita was great. And it was a surprise. She kept it quiet until the day she announced that, oh, today is my birthday. So say happy belated birthday. And it was
Okay.
good seeing those wonderful people. And Stockholm, I advise people who have not traveled over there. It's a beautiful place. The people are friendly.
Imagine it's not yet summer, and you saw how
Yeah,
Stockholm looks.
yeah. Very, very interesting place. So, for those who haven't been there, if they want to, and coming June, they can take that leeway to go and see Stockholm when we all gather in June. So
Mhm.
it's something that, but we're working on it with Mr. Cummings to give her the date, and I think it will be a very, very, very great thing for people to come and see. So yes,
Okay. So let me just welcome a couple of people here. Mark Farr, Judah Farr is also from Stockholm. He's from Sweden. I think he's from Stockholm, and he's watching. So Mark, we let us say welcome, and he's supposed to be on the show, but I don't know whether you've been busy, but you can take time whenever you have time. Just pop in and let's discuss the issues, Mark. And let's also say hi to Milton Ho. Milton Ho is one of the strong boys in Liberia on the grounds, or when they say boots on the ground, those are the people with their footprints on the ground for the ANC. And Milton, who would like to say thank you so much for what you do. We follow you and your friends and your colleagues. We want to encourage you guys. When you're in a fight, you have to fight to the end. I remember one thing my father always told me, and that's why I did not pick first all the time, because if I pick first and they beat me, I can't run to the hall, because if I run to the hall, you carry me back there and we'll fight the fight until we finish it. So I said, yeah, you always say you're gonna fight the fight, you finish it. So I say remember that. So when they fight with him, we gotta fight it to October 10th, and then after the result, then we know how well we fought or how bad we fought. So we got to fight to actually win. So let me say welcome to all of you. And for those of you whose name I cannot see here, but you are watching us, we say thank you for joining us. And Paul, we're going to take our musical break while we share the video, and when we return, then we jump into the actual discussion. So, um, uh,
yes. So I got a new number one hit, and I want to play it here for
yeah,
one
sure, that you can.
the Black Mirror. The
I trust
Black
you for
Mirror.
that.
The Black Mirror have made a very nice music, and it's interesting. Just a lot, too many clips. So I think we can listen today, and then we flow with the show. So we'll
Mhm.
ask our audience those who join us for the first time, those that with us kindly share the show. We're looking forward to a great discussion tonight. And before we go to the musical break, we'll try to dissect the those who running their platform. We'll start with George. We'll start with the present, the past, and then the future. So that means we'll start with George Weah, and then we'll look at Mr. Mark Woman, Mr. Boyka, former VP, and then Mr. Cummings. So we'll love for our audience to will display the number if they can call into and let's have a fruitful discussion tonight. So on that note, I will start with the number one hit from the Black Mirror himself. So listen to the Linfa.
Mhm.
Men can talk all. Yeah, sometimes, yeah. Amen. Men can talk all. Yeah, Megan to all. Megan to all. Pocket Megan to all. Megan to all.
Switch it up, baby.
Hey, yeah. Megan to all. Megan to all. Amen. Megan to all. Pocket Megan to all. Megan to all. Hey, yeah. Megan to all. Megan to all. Amen. Megan to all. Pocket Megan to all. Megan to all.
Let me read for you. I can read. Let me read for you. Let me got me senator read for you. A read does. A constituent pastor.
Yeah. Make it all. Make it all. Amen. Make it all. Pocket it all. Make it all. Yeah. Make it all. Make it all. Amen. Make it all. Pocket it all. Make it all.
Everything Mama Maggie have done is with the consent and with their acquiescence. That's the correct English, right?
Go and ask your grandfather.
Continue.
You say you like that?
Make it all. Make it all. Amen. Make it all. Pocket it all. Make it all. Make it all. Make it all. Amen. Make it all. Pocket it all. Make it all.
Megan to all.
Megan talk. Oh,
Welcome to the bottom line. Today
yes.
it will be a fascinating show. Linford, talk to us. What's on the menu?
Well. You know, the political season is on, and so we expect a lot of things. And we have people in a race, people who want to lead us, and some of them are leading us, but they want us to give them a second chance. Okay. And then we got the wannabes. The wannabes are the people who are coming, they want to remove the one leading us and to come to lead us. But the question is, these people that are leading us, do we know them? Do we know much about them? Do we know who they are, what they represent, what they intend to do? Or are we going to choose them as usual, where we say, oh, we let Linford tight and short and small, so we like him. Or we let Paul, because Paul is tall and slim, we let Paul. Or we let Jovia because he can play football. Or we let JMP because our papa, he didn't want to be in the team for long. Oh no, we let Mr. Cumming because Mr. Cumming was in America, he worked all over the world. People know him. Or we let one conclude we got a poor man lawyer. So all these people, we got to dissect, and we're just starting on this today. It will be a continuous event on this program. So tonight we'll be discussing the characters of some of those people who want to lead us and some of them who are already leading us. And that will come in different forms. We may have videos on some of those people, things that they have been doing, or things that people say about them, people who know them say about them. Okay, this is how we're going to be dissecting them. Because we do not have the opportunity right now to reach out to them personally in their living rooms and interview them and get to know about them. But they are public figures. There are things about them that some people know, or that even we ourselves know. Okay, and whether those things are true or not, but at least those are things that have come to public glare that the public knows about, that these people did or can do or have been doing. So we will be looking at that, and like I said, we're going to try our best to say what we know about them, what we have heard about them, or what people have said about them. And as we progress further to the electoral process, we may even be contacting people who know these people, or even family members who can tell us about them. but we'll be just introducing it tonight. And like I said, it's going to be a continuous part of this program. Every time it might be just a little section of it where we say, well, we're taking this public figure today to talk about him, what we know about him, and what we think about him, or what people have said about him. So, Paul, I think that's just an introduction of what we intend to do on this program, so that we'll get to know our leaders, the people that want to lead us.
Thank you, Linford. So we'll talk about the present, the past, and the future. So what do I mean? President Weah, His Excellency, is the present, and Vice President Burka is the past, and Mr. Cummings is the future, and Tawan Goglu also is the future. So those are people who have not been there before. So what we'll look at, we'll start with President Weah, and then we'll talk about his policy that he have that we know of, because he was asked what he gonna do taking her into the next 6 year. We'll look at that. Then we'll look at the former VP on an interview he had in Nigeria where he laid out his policy, and then we'll look at Mr. Cummings' policy as well. So we'll do step by step with that, cite them, and then our audience too can participate in this. So to get the ball rolling, let's start with this and what our audience think of this. President Weah was asked when he went to New York, and this was the thing he said.
With all doing anything, Liberia people giving a mandate, and they were with me from 2005 to date. We're all doing anything. I've done something. Trust me. I'll be re-elected.
Right. He made it clear without doing anything, Liberian people gave him the presidency. But now he have done something, so he'll be re-elected. And that was the message he sent out there. So, Linford, you have covered a lot of being a journalist. Have you heard this before? For an incumbent president say, I didn't do anything for the people. They gave it to me. Now I've done something. What are the things that he done that would make the people to re-elect him?
Well, to be frank, I covered Joe partly because I really started working at the radio station in 1988, and then 2 years on the war came. And in as much as Joe was developmental minded, Joe did some things. I mean, he was a military leader that took over the country, and then he ascended to the presidency. But he did things. I mean, if we look around, we see the fingerprints of Joe, like the SKD complex, even though people say it was an October project, but government continuity, at least he took it off and he completed it. Joe did a lot of other things, okay? But not one day that I heard Joe boast of anything that he did and said, well, based on what I did, the people will elect me. I think maybe he said it, but I don't know, and I didn't hear that. And I think what Joe rather thought to do was to continue to do what he was doing and even do more, so that he will encourage the voters. Because the thing is, you are selling yourself. If you carry your items to the market, if you don't sell it, if you don't promote it, nobody will promote it for you. People might even pass by you. Okay, in as much as they may want to buy what you have, but if you don't promote it, that's why if you go to the market, it's so a whole lot of noise. Buy my fish, buy my tawogi oil, buy my this, buy my that. You see, so I didn't hear, to answer your question directly, I didn't hear Joe say that. And then came President Taylor, because I'm dealing with those that were elected, duly elected, not the interim government, all these things. So with President Taylor, I was there for a very long time, 10 years. Not one day did I hear President Taylor say anything. In fact, if you look at it technically, he didn't have anything to boast of, because he brought war and people died. So he didn't have anything to boast of and say, this is what I did, and the people will elect me for that. But what President Taylor was rather doing in most of his speeches was that he was appealing to the conscience of the people, knowing fully well that he has inflicted, suffering on the people through the war. Uh, he usually said some of his famous quotes. One of them was, I know during the war, quote, during the
Mm.
war, my people pass here, they kill your cow, they kill your goat, and people die. But please forgive me. I'm not too big to say I'm sorry. So I
Right.
think messages like that were things that kind of appealed to the minds of most of the people, even though not everybody. And in war, people die, and there will be people who will be mourning, they will not be satisfied. But again, a lot of people, I think, they took console in his message of of remorse. Okay, and then Taylor would have said, well, the working and I brought food, people were eating, people were still working small, small, they were taking pay, that schools were open, you know. He would have said, based on that, the people will re-elect, that's why the people elected me, but he didn't say that. And then we came to uh, Judy Bryant. I was not in Liberia, so I don't know much about him,
Right.
and I didn't cover him. And Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, I was not in Liberia as well. I didn't cover her, but I met her physically 2 times here in Norway. Uh, I sat with her, we talked for some time. When she came here, like 2 different times she came here. But I mean, her life during her presidency, her life was open because at that time Facebook was available already. Like Taylor time, there was nothing on Facebook. Okay, but Ellen's time there was Facebook. People could sit here and talk to anybody and see what's happening anywhere. So I didn't cover Ellen, but I didn't hear her say anything like that, that, okay, I took over a country that just came from war. I was able to erase Liberia's debt, and I did this, I brought peace, and no more armed robbery and all these things. So based on that, the people will elect me for the second term. She didn't say that, but rather she campaigned vigorously, So for this sitting president that we have, that took over just barely 6 years ago, and the lives of the people have become miserable, um, as people are attesting to, and as we can see, the physical evidence or evidences around that suffering has risen to the top. For him to say boastfully that, and I mean, with no remorse or conscience, right? That he will say the Liberian people voted for me, I didn't do anything for them. When without even regretting to say, well, regrettably, I didn't do anything for the people, but the people love me and they voted for me. But he says, boastfully, that the people voted for me, I didn't do anything for them, waiting. But now that I have done something, what did he do? So what about the other voters, the other people who are suffering? And they are voters as well. People whose children are not in school, people
Yeah.
whose wives died because of poor medical conditions at the hospitals. They want to deliver, they and the children, the woman and the children die, or the child die. Uh, People involved in accident, they can't get any treatment. They rather stay home and die, and all the kind of thing. While a few of President Weah and his few colleagues are enjoying, and then he believes that it's the majority of the people who are enjoying, and so he can boastfully say, "You're voted for me. I didn't do anything for you, and you'll vote for me again because I upgraded a few community roads." Well, it's left with the Liberian people. So, Liberians, this is your president who is presiding over you now, who is ruling your country, and he
Yeah.
is looking in your face or in your faces and telling you that you voted for him. He didn't do anything for you. He did not promise you anything, but you voted for him, and now you are forced to vote for him again, in that he had done something. Well, it's left with you. If this is what you want, if this is what you believe you voted for your president for, it's up to you. Come October 10th.
Wow. I mean, you said it all, and the thing is, I like the president because he being very truthful that he didn't do anything to for the people, and they decided to vote for him. So he's right because he was voted on based on popularity, and we cannot take it from him. He is the most popular Liberian son on the planet Earth. So based on that, the people voted. But now before coming to power, he said he was going to do a lot of things for them. the people were not going to be spectators in their own country. But it seems to me they no longer spectator now. They have been pushed away from the stadium. So from SKD Stadium now they have been driven all the way back to Broadway. So being that they're not spectator in their own home now, and he boastfully saying, "You put me there, and then you will vote for me again." I think the people have the opportunity now to decide whether the past 5 years honor him, if their life had been better off. This is the time to ask that question. You vote for me again because I'm the popular son. I didn't promise you anything because you give it to me free. So this is where, and I think he's right when he said that we cannot take it from him because the people give it to him. Overwhelmingly give it to him. He won what 14 counties out of 15. So he's right to be boastful. So I don't know if you want to add something else, but there was
Yeah. I just want to conscientize the Liberian people because come to look at it this way, Paul, that a sitting president will address his people like that, will talk to his people like that. I believe the Liberian people are not stupid people. And let me tell you one thing. I'm a Liberian, you are a Liberian. You know how we think? You know, when people tell us things, you know how we react to it?
yeah.
When something hurts our feeling, you know how we take it as well. So I believe the Liberian people heard this, but what can they do to our president? Nothing they can do. There is no
Yeah.
one thing they can do, that is to exercise their powers at the ballot box. And this is when you know that you are important, you voters, that your vote is what got President we are up there. Your vote is what will either take Mr. Cummings up there. Your vote is what will either take GMB up there, that's Joseph Numa Bwaka up there, or your vote is what will take either Councillor Gonglo up there, or any of the candidates up there. So you do not have the power physically, financially, politically, you have the power. That is, you can use your franchise, you can use your vote. But money-wise, power-wise, you do not have that. So the president has all of the powers that you put in him. It's like you take your power, you put it in one man, or the whole country will take our power, we put it in one man, believing that he can work on our behalf. That's what we do when we elect people. So your power is that little piece of paper. I'm sorry, I don't have any piece of paper around me here, but that little piece of paper they call your voter registration card. That card, I think Paul has his registration card.
Oh
Unfortunately,
yeah,
I
I
don't
think
have.
I have my
So
card.
you can't let it in your pocket. You better
Because
go keep it. You better
my
keep it in
man,
your trunk.
the thing is, I travel with the thing anytime. Maybe I could be somewhere, and then they say there's a free aeroplane to Liberia, so
Then
it
you
will be
jump.
on me. So
So the voter card that Paul is going to show you, that's what we want all of you to have. Those of you that are above 18 or above, if you begin 18 today, you can register today. You are qualified to vote. And that is your power. So a President Weah cannot stand before you next time and talk loose talk. You see the card there? That little car. That is Paul's power.
that's
And
my
that little
power.
car, that one car, it can make a big difference. You know, when we were
Yeah,
small, we used to play football, they say, ta. Maybe you score two goals, say we got to break it ta. So the person who will score 3 goals will win, the person who get 2 goals. So Paul alone, that one paper, Paul can print President we are done with it, or he can let President we are say that with it. That small piece of something you saw in his hand. So Liberian, this is what you need to exercise your own power. Joe will get all the security around. He can't go around. He can't do anything to him. Even if he talk, he can get time for you. But when you enter that ballot box, that is the paper that will make the difference. That's when you become strong. That's when you become heavy. That's when you error there. So Liberians, you listen to your president. He say he do nothing for you. He even promise you anything, but you're voted for him and you're catching hard hand at your business. He now builds on road. You'll go vote for him again. Can you imagine? That the
That's
man is
right.
not even saying, oh, my people, your sorrow, you're voting for me, but the 5 years that passed, I do nothing much to satisfy everybody. He can't satisfy everybody though, but I do much for people to really be satisfied. But your please help me so that the next 6 years I can go and try again. But he said, no, you're put me there. I do nothing for you, put me there. So waiting if I build one part, you'll still have to vote for me. He's
That's right.
he's posting. So you all should know. I'm not telling you what to do, but I know you're Liberian people. We are all Liberian. We get small sense. We know how we can act. When somebody take advantage of us, we know how we can pay out their back too.
That's right. And before we transition, I just want to add this little bit that, before 2017 election, the president did give some little economic theory on the rest, the shortfall of rest. And we gave him the presidency, and there were high prices of rest. So I just want you to bear with me. Me play this a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
When rest is expensive, you know that you have a shortfall in the budget, then reduce the rest so those who are that not even working but making ends meet can buy. So when the shortfall, we cannot again support scarcity. You understand? So what needs to be done for all of us, because we have our responsibility as a citizen.
Okay. So that was the economic theory the president told us on rest shortfall. At least we all can see that. And we bought into that. We gave it in presidency. Things went the way it is today. Things are hard in Liberia. Most people now have tend to back us. If they think the situation on the ground is okay, this is what the people need to do now. To, if they're happy, they have the present. If they're not happy, there's a future always. So I just want to put that out there before we transition. So what we're looking at what we have said that he will do in the next. They gave him another 6 years, and he said the people voted for him. He didn't do anything, and he will win this time. So at least we know now where he said they were not going to be spectator in their own country, and we are not spectator in our own country. So he said it. So we know his strength and his weakness. So now, fast forward. October 10 is just around the corner. The former vice president, who served for over 40 years, he was vice president for 12 years. And the country benefited that 12 years. They had the most money that came into Liberia. And we're on the same path line with Rwanda. Today, when they left office, they left us as beggars. And the vice president wants us to give him another chance. And that chance that he's talking about, that they didn't do for 12 years, he would do it at this time. So let's look at his own policy. He was in Nigeria a few months ago, and he was asked to lay out his plan, things that he didn't do. But it's a little bit a long video. We'll cut that into half so people can live. But the question started from, that's what we will look into. So I just want our audience to listen to this, and then we'll move forward.
Liberia, what's your plan? I know we talked about the AREST. So can you detail how you hope to rescue Liberia?
I came with the arrest, and I didn't put 2 arrows because we didn't want to frighten anybody. Arrest, AREST. The immediate plan is to start with what most of the people know in the area I have been in, that is agriculture. Because in agriculture, 70 to 80% of our people, where we were able to, to raise their lives, produce marketing, where I came from. People were able to send their children to school. But we believe that agriculture will not do well if you don't have good roads. So we go to the R and we talk about roads. I think Mr. Weir misunderstood me when I said road number 1, road number 2, road number 3. I was not talking about this community roads and just for the sake of putting something maybe and making money. I'm talking about roads that are very strategic to development. Roads, farm to market roads that help to reduce prices because of the possibility of people moving with commodities and keeping prices low. Roads that are able for medical facilities and even for education. Then I went to E. Arrest, education. The number of children that we had in school had dropped drastically. Firstly, because of the lack of good teachers, access to good schools, children sitting on the floor, and there's nobody that even has the feeling that life is beyond them. Then you go to the S sanitation. We are in developing country. We are not advanced in curative medicine. But if you keep the communities clean, if you take sanitation and keep the people in the rural community, you give them clean environment, and even in the urban area, if you go to Monrovia today, everywhere is garbage, everywhere. Good health start with good environment. So then you talk about LRT tourism. Liberia has the possibility for tourism. And that tourism combined with the hospitality industry will create some jobs for the young people immediately. They'll be able to give opportunity to the rural community in the cottage industry. They'll be able to give the young people a job in the management of hotels and things that will give them the confidence that there is a future for them.
All right. So I would like to delve in.
Lefa, you listen to the former vice president agenda for Liberia going forward. And he listed, they call it arrest. And he went through it, that his policy for the 2023, when he's given state power, how he move the country forward. You listen to him keenly. Talk to us, talk to your audience.
Well, you know, the former VP, I don't know. Yeah, the former VP made some points. He said some things. I just want to. No, Sarah. Anyway, well, let me welcome a couple of people. Let me relax while I will talk. Let me just welcome Sarah's play. My own dear sister Mona Klepa, Marie Masako. Marie, we're missing you on the show, and also my brother Francis. Francis Mensa. Francis, we're going to get to you and we'll talk. Francis will be appearing on the show, but we got to fix a date. It's a done deal already. Francis is coming, but just a date. So Francis, we're welcome, and the rest of you people whose names I cannot see on the screen, you are welcome. But Paul, let me talk about what the VP.
Before you start, I want to say welcome to my brother Sarah. Sorry, I did send you a message on WhatsApp, and I didn't know if you read it, but anyway, we'll talk after the show.
My man, you play that Supreme Court for you, Sarah. You're good.
All right.
You're good. Your kids on our side. Sarah, we'll get back to you. But to talk to what our former VP said, yes, he talked about agriculture, of course, that his specialty. Then he talked about roads. Then he also talked about education, sanitation, and tourism. And rest. Yes, it sounds good. But one will wonder, uh, when does a political aspirant do these things? When they are president, even if you went to the second highest office, the first presidency, that you would have done something. Because no, again, if I say this, somebody will say, what did Mr. Cummings do? Mr. Cummings was not in government, and he did not have that ambition to become president when he was in private life, until when he saw the need after his private life job. But not somebody who depend on government job all the time, who live by government job, like the vice president. Before I was born, he was in government job. We met him there. We all competed in the same government job. We left him there and he stayed there. So this is his only outlet. Okay? So since he believed that this is the only way he would live, by working for government, I think he should have started laying some groundwork. Now, why do I say that? The old man was vice president for 12 years. I mean, I'm not going to go to the time when he was LPNC managing director, when you're agriculture minister. No, I'm not going to go there, because somebody will say you were just mayor minister or some director. But he went to the second office, highest office. Had Ellen Johnson passed away, God forbid, which he didn't, he would have become the president. So he was very close to power. Now, he could make things happen. The road leading to his own county, where he comes from, I think that's one of the things that the Lofa County people who are against this old man, that he should have even started a project. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf went with George Weah to break ground for that road. And besides that Banga Menikoma Highway, it was a long-term project. That project started a long time ago. Till I even attempted it. Okay? So the project was there. The blueprint was there. So all that the former VP needed to do was to impress on his government, in which he served for 12 years at the second powerful position. He would have impressed on that government to even start the project. Now, George Weah can say, no, listen, I pulled the bull by the horn, because George Weah actually started this project going. So the VP cannot say anything. Now, he was making reference to Weah misunderstanding his road concept. So how can he argue with Weah? You were vice president for 12 years. You had the opportunity to convince your government to divert some of the funds that you receive for development towards that road. Even if you start and you don't finish it, but that your fingerprint will be there, that people will say, okay, this is what the VP did. But he waited until he wants to be president, then he talk about road. No, listen, you should have started that road project, JMB, and then people will know that you are serious about building road. You don't wait until you want to be president before you can build road, or are you using that road as a bait to draw the voters? No. And voters, we are talking to you. These are your candidates. These are people that want to lead you. This is why they are telling you that they will wait until you put them there before they can do what they want to do. That's one. The VP is somebody with agricultural background. In fact, that is where he was educated in. That is why he was educated in. Now, I understand he has a farm in somewhere in Pomi County. What is he producing? What labor do we see from his farm that this egg made on JMB farm, this potato from JMB farm, this corn, okay? We don't see these things. So tell me. And then you talk about health, you talk about sanitation. Yes, sanitation, it will all boil down to going to ask international assistance. Okay, talk about tourism. Yes.
Linford,
Mm-hmm.
let me play that clip one more for our
Yeah,
audience. Let me play it one more.
play one more time and let the
Yeah.
people hear where I'm coming from, because this is a
But we
man
believe
reporting from the
that
road.
agriculture will not do well if you don't have good.
There was the question asked.
Want to frighten anybody. Arrest, AREST. The immediate plan is to start with what most of the people know in the area I have been in, that is agriculture. Because in agriculture, 70 to 80% of our people, where we were able to, to raise their lives, produce marketing, where I came from, people were able to send their children to school. But we believe that agriculture will not do well if you don't have good roads. So we go to the R and we talk about roads. I think Mr. Weir misunderstood me when I said road number one, road number two, road number three. I was not talking about this community roads and just for the sake of putting something maybe and making money. I'm talking about roads that are very strategic to development. Roads, farm to market roads that help to reduce prices because of the possibility of people moving with commodities and keeping prices low, roads that are able for medical facilities and even for education. Then I went to E, arrest, education. The number of children that we had in school had dropped drastically, firstly because of the lack of good teachers, access to good schools, children sitting on the floor, and there's nobody that even has the feeling that life is beyond them. Then you go to the S sanitation. We are in developing country. We are not advanced in curative medicine. But if you keep the communities clean, if you take sanitation and keep the people in the rural community, you give them clean environment, and even in the urban area, if you go to Monrovia today, everywhere is garbage, everywhere. Good health start with good environment. So then you talk about LRT tourism. Liberia has the possibility for tourism. And that tourism combined with the hospitality industry will create some jobs for the young people immediately. They'll be able to give opportunity to the rural community in the cottage industry. They'll be able to give the young people a job in the management of hotels and things that will give them the confidence that there is a future for them.
Okay. Linford, our audience heard it for the second time. And before you flow, he talks about education, which is one of his plans, and lack of good teachers and children sitting on floor. So, and then he talked about tourism that will have people, young people working. That's the plan. So my question to you, I want you to address this. For 12 years, as a principal advisor to Madame Sedif, why is it George Weah took over a system from them that education had become a failure for children to be sitting down on the floor? We have only been there for 5 years. They had 12 years. So the money that came in under that administration Why should children be sitting down on the floor? Is that why he wanted a second chance?
Well, in the first place, the VP got all of his he has his plans mixed up. The way he thinks about you know, bringing about development is all mixed up. It's not synchronized. It's like here, there, you know, just imagining that, okay, yeah, I think this is what we need to do, and this is how we can do it. No, it doesn't. In a structural development plan, it doesn't work like that. They are connected, interconnected. This is a man who talks about agriculture, then he jumps straight to road. Then from road, he jumps straight to education. From education, he jumps to sanitation. From sanitation, he jumps to tourism. Look at the disjoint. The disjoint between or amongst all of what he playing. They're not connected. Most of them are not connected. There should be structure from stage to stage. Now, he attributed the poor quality of education to the lack of good teachers, the lack of no. He could be partly right, but I think there are good teachers in Liberia. I went to school, I sat down on blocks, my elementary school. Okay, by the way, I went to several elementary school, and the reason is because I lived with my uncle at the time, so we were moving from place to place and place to place. I even attended Colonel Academy, where I started my grade school, and then we left from there. I went to Corway to ETMR. From there, I ended up in demonstration. From demonstration, I went back to LAC, and then sometime in the interior again. So I sat on breaks. Okay, our teachers used to work like maybe 3 hours before they get to school. When they come to school, they all exhausted, they are wet. But still, we were willing to learn, and we did it. Okay, so I think the major cause of the hard time in Liberia is the economy. You should think about the economy first. Because, no, let me tell you, way back, life was not as improved in Liberia. Life was not as improved as it is today. People did not have cell phones. People did not have computers. You know, a lot of things. Some families did not even have sponge mattresses. They used to sleep on. I remember people used to put a pantage in the bag and sleep on it. But now we are in a modern world, and Liberia is almost tasting that modern world. But what we lack is a vibrant economy where everybody, like in the past, okay, life was not as advanced as it is today, but the people were living. That people used to carry $1 to the market and they could buy something. They used to carry us 25 cents. When they get 25 cents for a recess, they plenty. You can eat it 2 days if you know how to economize. Okay? But the people were surviving. When more ends, the fathers were sure to buy that one bag of bread to take it home. People were getting their salaries. But right now, what's happening is the economy is bad. And so even you can you can educate all the teachers to PhD level. That will not help the children to even learn. Because if the teacher is not taking pay, how can he even go to school? Right. And that's a PhD man. If he's not taking pay, how can he go to school? He can't pay his way to go to school. So the economy should be top priority. I agree that all those things form part of the economy. They are components of the economy. But we're talking about managing the resources that we have. Those resources that we have, managing it. Okay? Liberia is not poor. We got money. I live in Norway and we got nothing. We don't produce anything food-wise. We don't produce anything. Even cars, nothing. We don't produce anything. Only a few things they manufacture here and there. But the amount of food that we eat in this country and throw away. I used to work in a hotel. In fact, by the way, I still work there, okay, as my part-time job. The amount of food, poor to the God that we serve, the amount of food they can throw away in that hotel every day, it can feed Morovia.
Right.
One day. Now, the food we can throw away every day on a daily basis. Now, so it's the management of our economy, our resources, which is a major problem. So I agree that the educational system is poor. And you know why the educational system is poor? Because we're not paying the teachers well. So I don't want to go be a teacher. I don't want to go be a teacher when I can't take pay.
So
I'd rather
Linford,
work in government. I'd rather become senator.
Linford, he lay it out. It's like us sitting down and just talking things that I want to talk. He didn't tell us how he gonna do it. He just said agriculture is my area, but he didn't tell how agriculture will benefit the people he want to lead.
No, he said agriculture. The people used to send their children to school. Not everybody
Right.
would depend on agriculture to send their children to school. That's
Right.
false.
So he lay it out. He talked about sanitation and all that. Monrovia is dirty. The country is dirty. Fine. But the whole thing is education, lack of good teachers. He talked about children sitting on the floor. What went wrong with his government?
Paul, let me look at a bit about his sanitation thing. No,
Yeah.
let me tell you one thing. You don't teach the people how to be clean. Trust me. You know, somebody will say people will look at it different way from what I'm saying, but you don't teach anybody how to be clean. No, the condition you live in can make you to be clean or dirty. If you live in a good house, Paul, you're not going to have dirt all around your house. No. But you live in Sonimwe, where the neighbors start dumping dirt way upstream in a gutter, and when they rain, the whole flood is coming with the dirt. All the plastic bag floating, all that water coming in the gutter near your house. You think it's normal. So when you drink the cold water, you throw the plastic bag away. And let me tell you one thing. When the people's life improve, go to Mama Point. Yeah, I agree. That is all around Monrovia, but go to Mama Point. Go to the diplomatic enclave of Liberia, where all the top people living. Do you see that? No. When your life is improved.
No. Even the common people, go to their houses. Go see.
Yeah.
Their yard is very clean. So it's something that they are aware of.
You're going to go to the hungry people's house now, because what we're talking about here is the economy is bad. People are broke. People cannot afford food. So you go to the house, you say that sanitation now. You say you're clean all your houses. You're clean all the dead and they're hungry.
So, thank you for raising that. He didn't talk about the economy, how to get people into jobs.
Yes, he didn't talk about it.
Remember when Mr. Cummings spoke about ecotourism back then? So they decided he decided now to talk about ecotourism, will put young people into employment.
Yeah, but go back to 2020. What was the old man message? He was talking about roll.
He said roll. And Georgia misunderstood the roll.
And when Joshua came, the roll, you're talking about Joshua did the roads. So he got nothing to talk about again. Then he said,
Mr. Cummings talking about ecotourism. He capitalized ecotourism. So that's what I'm saying. It's good that we're having this discussion now, that people can see all of these things. Who have the best message among these people? For people to understand why is it Liberians cannot listen to what people are telling them how they'll do it, and instead of somebody just coming, agriculture, great. But how are you going to do this agriculture that you talk about? That's the thing. You talk about good teachers. How are you going to get these good teachers? Where is the plan? How do we lay out for say this is how we get a good teacher? He didn't say any of that. He just talked it in vague. But anyway, let's transition because time is not in our favor. So we look at the present, we look at the past, and now we're heading for the future. And the future we're heading for is we're going to look at Mr. Cummings' own plan. And this one, it has been broken down into 3 stages, so our viewers can also follow us and make their comment if they want. So we'll start with Mr. Cummings' own vision 2 for Liberia. Sorry.
Okay, while Paul is trying to, Paul, before you bring that video, let me just welcome a few people more, then you can welcome. Let's say, welcome to Charles Masterquest. Charles, you're in Malmo. I know the last time we met, you were in Malmo, and we were in Stockholm. You didn't come there, so I hope you will come to Stockholm. I don't know whether you moved to Malmo, but we'll be there in June. But I'll keep you updated. And let's say welcome also to Pro King. and David Akwewala, Uncle Dave, here in Norway, and Kulai Manuel Kuruma Foster is also watching from Norway. We'd like to say welcome, and let me say welcome to Francis Mensah. I did that before, and also to my little man, Alan Ogoe, my little brother. He's watching. So this is a platform. Please share the video, and we're discussing the future of Liberia, the past and the present. And we are looking at those people who want to be our leader, or some of whom are our leaders already. What they have done, what they think they can do, what they will do to improve or to impact your lives as voters. Paul, continue.
Okay, so I'm going to forward this one.
5 priorities we have, and we call that the what. And then there are 5 things we call the how we'll do it. And those priorities are as follows. Our first priority is infrastructure. Simply put, it's electricity, it's roads, it's water, and it's internet and cell phone connectivity across Liberia. We have to invest in infrastructure. That is the top priority. That's the basis on which we can and will do everything else. The second priority for us is job creation. There are too many unemployed, underemployed, and unemployable Liberians. The unemployment rate is over 85%. And therefore, job creation is our next priority, creating jobs for the Liberian people. So after job creation, our next priority is agriculture. We are a country, after 170 years, that do not feed ourselves. Last year alone, we imported over 160 million United States dollars in rice import, and total food imports was over $280 million. These are things we can do for ourselves. We should be producing rice to feed ourselves, and my commitment is that by the end of my first term in office, we will be self-sufficient in rice production. And within education, we're focused on vocational training, teachers training, and adult education. But we have to educate our young people because, again, that's how we can help them create jobs. That's how we can train farmers. And so these things are all linked together. And our final priority in terms of the what is health. Because you can have good infrastructure, you can have a good job, you can feed yourself, you can have great education, but if you don't have your health, it doesn't matter. And so health is our 5th priority, and there we're focused on primary health care and preventive health care. So those are the what's we'll do for our people, for the Liberian people. We want all sections of our country to be represented in the government. We want opposition political parties to be in government because we believe that having a government inclusion will help all of us make the right decisions. It will make sure that we're spreading the resources of our country across the entire country. And then the last 2 hows, one is growing the private sector. We will focus on growing the private sector so Liberians can primarily benefit from that growth. No longer should Liberian business people be spectators to our economy. And we want to actively support Liberianization and encourage and provide credit and other facilities to Liberian businesses so they can participate. And last but not least, we will use technology. We'll leverage technology to help us achieve our goals. So those are the what's and the how's. But let me end by leaving you again.
Okay, link 4. I jumped to the other video which I needed to play. I need to get that one before this one that just came out. So that was the what and the how. So let me bring that video that I meant to play before I go to that one. If you can bear with me.
Well, sure. I mean, we serving the public. The public, I think they are getting the message.
Okay. So that this is the one that I want to play. This the second. So we'll get. Hold on. Let me bring this one out. Okay. Here we go.
How are we going to do these things? The first how is we want to engage Liberians differently in the transformation of our country. We call this hearts and minds. How do we get all Liberians to participate in the changes that are required? We're going to use arts and music and culture and reconciliation and religion. All of these things, we will be deliberate in using these things to engage us as a people in this transformation process. And so we're doing some work on how we can make those things happen. The next how is that we're going to find the money. We have to find the resources, the money, to do all of the what's I mentioned earlier. And the way we'll find the money is, first, we'll go after waste in government. You know, we spend a lot of money on things that we don't need, or we pay too much for things that we do need. So, for example, I believe the vehicles we buy for our government officials, we spend too much money on that. We should reduce the number of vehicles, and we should buy less expensive vehicles for our government officials. We need to reduce how much they make so we can pay teachers and civil servants and police officers and the military officers and healthcare workers, people who actually do the work. We need to pay them more money and reduce the gap between those at the top and those who actually do the work. The other way we'll find the money is going after this thing called corruption. You know, corruption has been the bane of our country. Is the primary reason why we are as underdeveloped as we are today. And we will aggressively go after corruption. The first thing we'll do is we will appoint a corruption czar, a minister in charge of corruption in the presidency that will coordinate all of the agencies that are meant to find corrupt officials. Secondly thing we'll do is we'll make sure we are giving the resources, the money, the right people, the right logistics to the anti-corruption agencies, the LACC, Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission, the General Accounting Office, the Public Procurement and Concessions Commission. We will make sure they got the right resources to go after corrupt officials. After that, when we find people who are corrupt, we will prosecute them, we will put them in jail, and we'll seize the assets. It will not be good enough for you just to resign. Okay. So those are the things we will do to really go after corruption. I have committed that I will not take a salary. The salary that is paid the president, I will allocate it towards helping to fight corruption. That's how important I think it is to us. And then the other way we'll find the money is we'll make sure we're getting full value, the full monies we're due from our natural resources. We'll look to exploit other natural resources so we can get the funds required to fund healthcare, to fund infrastructure, to create jobs, etc., etc. So finding the money is the second how. The next how is we want to create a government of inclusion. We want all sections of our country to be represented in the government. We want opposition political parties to be in government. Because we believe that having a government inclusion will help all of us make the right decisions. It will make sure that we're spreading the resources of our country across the entire country. And then the last two hows, one is growing the private sector. We will focus on growing the private sector so Liberians can primarily benefit from that growth. No longer should Liberian business people be spectators to our economy. And we want to actively support Liberianization and encourage and provide credit and other facilities to Liberian businesses so they can participate. And last but not least, we will use technology. We'll leverage technology to help us achieve our goals. So those are the what's and the how's. But let me end by leaving you again with these two universal truths. One is we cannot keep doing the same things, my people, and expect different results. We cannot keep electing the same people with the same experiences and expect Liberia to change. We need to elect and select different people to lead us, to serve us, to help us manage and run our country. And the other universal truth is the best predictor of future performance and future behavior is past performance and past behavior. And on those 2 counts, I believe I stand head and shoulders above the other candidates aspiring to lead our country.
On those 2 counts, I stand head above the shoulder against the other people who aspire to lead our country. Linford, based on what we have seen from the Excellency George Manuel Weah, President of the Republic of Liberia, his vision, the past former Vice President Joseph Numa Barker, and then the present Alexander Benedict Cummings. Talk to your audience, Linford.
Did I hear you say, based on what we are seeing from the President George Manuel Weah, his vision? Did I hear you say his vision?
Yeah, his vision that
He doesn't have one.
Yeah,
Oh, he doesn't have. Okay, let me stop it
no,
right
he
there. He
got a
doesn't have one.
vision. He said the people give it to him, and he done something now, and
No,
then
but
he'll make it.
that's not a vision. It's just a
Well,
product. He was he
okay,
was
so
he was he was
okay,
giving he was giving outcome. That was
oh,
outcome. That's not a vision.
okay,
The president, I condemn him vehemently for not having a vision. And I can look at him in the face and tell him that, Mr. President, you did not have a vision for the country, and you alluded to it yourself. You said you did not do anything. You did not promise the Liberian people anything. You did not do anything, but they voted for you. So the president ruled him out. He doesn't have a vision. Let's go to Mr. Boakai. Yeah, Mr. Boakai, from all fairness, he had never been president before. He was vice president, and giving him his fair share in court. The vice presidency, as we know in Liberia, is a nominal position to some extent that you have to work at the whims and caprices of your boss, the president. And even though you have some responsibility, but it's a nominal position. Okay, your responsibility is limited to the point that even the president is traveling, they cannot appoint you, they cannot leave you in charge. So this is how much the vice presidency goes. But notwithstanding, the vice president, he'd say he had a vision, or he has a vision, which is first it was road, but then 5 years forward, or almost 6 years forward, he has changed to agriculture, road, education, sanitation, and tourism. So four more things added to road. So I think he has a vision. But the question is, what is vision? Vision is just that you sit down, you imagine something, you see something. Yes, you see this thing, but it's not reality. Okay, let me define vision in a layman's term. It's like you dream. You go in your dream, you become millionaire. you fly to space. But when you wake up in the morning, you're laying down on your hard plan bed, or you're laying down on the floor. You were flying your dream. You were a millionaire. So vision is all about dream. But how do you realize your vision is what matters. I remember, Paul, you and I mean, all children, all adults who were children before, when we were growing up, we say, when I get beer, yeah. I said to say, when you get big, then that's a passport to getting wealth. When I get big, I'll buy plane, I'll buy ship, I'll buy car. When I get big, I'll do this. But yeah, we all, I'll be a great, we get nothing yet. So that's just a dream, a vision. Yeah, it's not wrong to have a vision, but how do you realize a vision? How do you materialize the thing that you visualize? Because like I said, it's just like you dream, and in your dream you get all these things, but you say, as old as I am, I'm still dreaming. I feel that one day maybe I'll win the lottery and I can live my old age life. But so that's it. It's not bad to have a dream. The vice president has a dream. He talks about agriculture, road, education, sanitation, and tourism. Yeah, that's his dream. But the question he should be asking himself is, how can his dreams be, materialized
as a reality?
Mm-hmm.
So now you listen to the 3 front runner, and then you just listen to Mr. Cummings' own vision that he have, and he say is on 5 pillars, and he gave the example of how he intend to do it. He lay it out. So if you're making a comparison analysis between the vice president, the former vice president, which I would say the past, and then the future is Mr. Cummings. Do the comparison.
Okay. I don't think if I'm very, very much uh very good in making such comparison, but
Right. So
yeah, as somebody who did management, I think I should know how to do comparative analysis. Where I weigh the pros and the cons. Well, I think if I should make a comparison between the former VP and Mr. Cummings, what they call their visions. Well, both men have vision because in any case, Liberia needs all of what they have mentioned. Liberia needs tourism. We need to improve the tourism industry. The educational system needs to be revamped. The sanitation, which I believe is not only going to tell the people you clean your area. You got Pubu factory right there in Fiama that could be used, where they produce fertilizers and other things, and create biofuel. I think they can use feces now to generate biofuels and all those things. Then you talk about road. Yeah, road is good. We all know road. We need road to travel on. But when people be talking about road all the time in Liberia, one thing that gets to me is the population. We do not have cars. We do not have money to buy a car. Let me put it this way: the people poor. They can. You see, one taxi. You see, more than a government had not been strong regulation that 5 or 6 people should not ride taxi. People will say be having 6 people in a taxi in Liberia. When I was in Liberia, the first time I went to Liberia after 14 years, that was in 2014. I went on Broad Street. Okay, I came from Duporo. I took taxi. It was not difficult when I got to Duporo. I mean, not Duporo, GSA Road Junction. I took taxi. I went to Broad Street. But when I got to Broad Street, after I did my errand, I was supposed to come back. Paul, trust me, it took me more than almost 1 hour standing right around the Centennial Pavilion there. Between the Centennial Pavilion, right near Chase Martin Ben Centennial. I couldn't get taxi. I'm trying to get taxi, but I can't get it. Because they rush when the taxi come, people. So I didn't know, and there's Zogo or the car loader, he was watching me. The man see me rushing, fighting. So he came to me and said, Papa, where you going? I said, I'm going to Pinso. He said, but you're waiting for taxi. I said, oh, but I didn't see you. He said, wait. I said, the next taxi that came, the power was sitting in the front. He said, Papa, you can sit down. Get my lady. I said, oh, I almost asked him, what you did? You see, you got people rushing for car. No cars in the country. People cannot afford to buy a car. People, as I do send cars to Liberia, so now the cars will be saying that nobody want to buy it. People can't ask for it when you call the price, they don't want to buy it because no money. Then you thinking about road. Yeah, we agree, we need roads. But and people start breaking road. The same people start breaking road, they don't want to be walking on the road. The few cars are passing, if we see dirty water on there, you get a car, then you start breaking road. You should be thinking about how to improve your life. So, like I said, to make a comparison now, I think the only difference between Mr. Cummings's plan and that of the former VP is that Mr. Cummings is telling us how he will do it, how he will accomplish it. But the VP is telling us what he will do. Mr. Cummings told us what he will do and how he will do them. But the VP is not telling us what he will do. How he will do it, we don't know. Probably he got that magic somewhere. Or, there's a song called The Midas Touch. And there is about a king, a story about a king of Midas who had a Midas power, I call it King Midas. Everything he touched at the time turned to gold, So probably the former VP has a Midas touch that whatever he will touch will happen. So he's not telling us how he's doing it, but he got a vision. And again, let's go back to my explanation about vision. Where you go in your dream, you become this big man, you king, you whatever you want to be. Then when you wake up, you are still you. So probably the former video is going to say, okay, I can say this to get vote, but how to realize my dream, that's another thing. But Mr.
Right.
Cummings is telling us
So
what he will do and how he will do it. So that's the difference I see.
So the reason why I wanted to look at it,
Mm.
Mr. Cummings is telling you this is my plan. This is
Yes.
how I would do it.
Mm-hmm.
And he
And
went
GMB is also telling you this is my plan, but he's not telling you how he will do it.
he'll do it. So you write when you sell, when you dream, when we're small, when I get big, I'll be a pilot.
Mm-hmm.
But you know that you have to go to school, you have to study before you be a pilot. Or you know you dream that you want to be a pilot.
When you get big.
Yeah, when you get big. So Mr. Comey is telling you, this is the 5 things that can change Liberia, and this is how we will do it. He gone into, not in particular order, but he gave you the way he intend to do it. And job creation has been his number 1 thing in it. And he tell you how he's going to do it. He talk about corruption, how he's going to do it. He'll set up a ministry of ZAD that will go after people. And then he tell you, if these people call corruption will be one of his areas. Then he talk about job creation. He tell you how he's going to do it. And how they will find the money to do those things. Education. He said all of these things we talk about, to be able to do it, we have to be healthy. So he focused on primary health care. He telling all what the 5 principal pillars that he got. Now, if I'm running and just say, Linford, tomorrow I will build Bali Island, like what my president said, but he didn't tell you where he will get the money from to build the Bali Island that never came. He will build a coastal highway from Grand Bassa County straight to Harper City. How? No. So that sometimes we call it a loose talk to control people. The reason why I'm saying that loose talk, because I think Liberia will be like this, but you're not telling how Liberia will be like.
Well,
Liberia will be more than Rwanda. You're not saying how Liberia will be more than Rwanda.
When we were growing up,
yes.
I remember we used to go to talent show and thing, right?
Right.
You go to talent show, immediately find he's coming wrapped again now. You tell the guy, oh, this sweet thing, but
yes.
you even get money to pay your way to come home.
Yes. You even get 25 cents. If he asks you, buy me this, then you start scratching your head. So it's a situation that we face with.
So,
now, and the reason why I'm bringing this out, the one who have a proper plan with these people. Now, I'm coming back to the vice president. The UP is running with a thing that the one with better plan must go and sit underneath the person who just dreamed. How you figure this out? How they figure it out? The one who dreamed and the one who said, this is the way things will be, and Liberia businesses will not be spectator. This is how we do it.
Yeah, but Paul, let me ask you one question sincerely. Please answer this question sincerely. Do you sincerely believe that that GMB actually wants Mr. Cummings to be his running mate? Do you sincerely believe that?
No, he does not.
Okay, so when you listen to the tiny UP partisans, you waste. I don't discuss that thing anymore because they are of no relevance. Like me, I'm of no relevance in a decision that Mr. Cummings might make.
Linford is something to get rid of, because what I'm saying is, the CDC may not like them, you may like them or hate them. The UP may like them, may not like them or hate them. They have this bad propagandist that go around in the minds of people that they will make them to call radio station, say, oh, Liberia is resolved. The people want this ticket. That nonsense talk, you know where it started from?
Yeah, but I agree, Paul. The point I'm trying to make here is...
Let me learn. It started from Samuel 12, right? And didn't know why the government started running with that propaganda. And they now started carrying it to make it look like, but it's something that the VP, he wouldn't want for Cummings to come around him, somebody that will overshadow him. I agree with you. So, Flo.
Yeah, the point I'm trying to make is that there is no need to waste your time on the people who have no relevance in a decision that JMB will make regarding his vice presidential pick. The same thing with me. Right. I'm of no relevance in any decision that Mr. Cummings might make in picking his VP. So, I can stay and shout all day it doesn't make any sense. So for me, I don't waste my. That's the point I'm trying to make. I don't waste my
Okay.
time on those people.
You don't waste
I mean,
your
it's
time
like me.
on
I can post anything. Does that mean anything? No. So I don't when I'm on serious business, when I'm on Facebook, just for fun, I can post all those things. I can react to that thing. But when I'm on a serious show like this show, I don't waste my time to discuss one John Brown or one Joe Blow in a quarter who talks about he resolved that, and the only way if JMB say no, I am resolved that the only way I can move, I can unseat or we can unseat President Weah is for me to call Mr. Cummings and say, "Can let's work out a D and we form a coalition." Simple. The two men can sit and work on modalities, but not one lean for in a quarter. He drunk, he's sitting there somewhere, maybe you're talking off his head. No, I don't pay attention to those kind of people. I'm resolved not to do that.
left floor.
Yeah. So the next thing we got to talk about is actually there was a video that I saw for Mr. Cummings when he presently he's in the US, and I saw him having a conversation with this guy. This is an attorney at law in I think in Minnesota, and that video really encouraged me. I tried to find that video. I had it yesterday.
No, I got clip of that video, but I didn't download it, so we'll talk about it on Friday.
Okay, so I will not about it.
Yeah.
Because the reason I wanted to mention that video briefly is that, Mr. Cummings has given his words, the things that he wants to do, his words, and he has also given his house, how he intends to go about them. Now, but and like they say, my old people got a parable in a tribe, in the dialect. They say, if you know the chicken is well, when you put it outside in the morning from the chicken basket, that's when to know that one chicken is sick or all the chickens are well. Because when you open the basket, all the chicken will run. They start flapping that fellows like this. But if you see one of them walking, that means that well. So Mr. Cummings is not your president, but he goes out and he meets people of substance. I mean, I listened to the conversation between him and that Anthony, one Martin, I think. And what we were talking, and the guy committed. He said, "Well, we can help. We can help you to achieve these goals." Because Mr. Cummings was, but like you said, we'll talk about a video. So the point I'm trying to make to the public is that you got to know who can do the work. You got to know who will just think. I've been working all my life. I was the age of 21, left high school, and then I started to work all my life. I've been working all my life. And so I worked in different companies, different settings, among different people, especially in Europe, among different kind of people. Some crazy, some get good sense, all kind of people. So I know how to deal with people, and I can read people. I know when you go to the work, maybe for the first time, just observe the people, how they work. And you will know who can really work, who's there to just play fun, who's there to just fill out the crowd. And so me, I'm very observant. I observe everything around me. So Mr. Cummings is making headway. This is a man who had told you what he will do and how he will do that, and he goes out there and he's having meaningful conversation with people of substance, not just anybody in the street. So if you can see, you can hear. If you can hear, you can feel.
So let me we got an announcement because usually people follow us in Liberia after the show. There is an announcement about the second phase of the voter registration. I just want to say there's a little man that encouraging Liberians to vote. So I just want to play this to our audience to please encourage their people in those rural part of Liberia to vote. Okay. Y'all go register and vote for your future.
Paul, please upload that thing on our web, on our site here.
You want me to play it again?
Yeah, you play again, but upload it. Let it be here.
Okay.
Well, You know, let me tell you one thing, Paul. We do expect God, and Liberia is one country where I see we're so lazy. The man will say that instead of him going to even find food to eat, say, God, I depend on God. You depend on God, my friend. The fact that God gave you life is for you to be able to move and fetch for yourself. How many times you see God opening the sky, coming down and cooking bread for somebody, or bringing cassava up there and put it to your door? God gave you life, gave you feet, gave you 2 hands. So people sitting there and they stay hoping that God will come move job. No, God will not come to move. So he gave you the opportunity to vote. Look at that little boy, that angel passing through that boy talking. A child like that, not more than 3 years old. He is saying, go, do not sit down. If you sit down, you play phone, you will have yourself to blame for the next 6 years. Go register and vote. And the only way you'll be able to move to let me tell you, the plan to and you can't move him with force. The man get the police, he get the army, he get a private security, he get a SP or so, how they call that security in Liberia. APS. So nobody about him now. I mean, it's armed to the teeth. The only way you can move to over that through the ballot, and even if he's moving, you will say bounce scramble. You will say the election or that fair they cheated him. Okay, but at that time, the number will show. So the only way you can move the mayor, you'll go register and get a voter's card and go vote for the candidate of your choice. We finish talking about me. I can say more than that.
That's right. So, anyway, having said all that, what's next?
Well, what's next? What's next is, I believe, and I hold this, and by the way, the callers can call this number on the screen, their WhatsApp number, so you can call, and if you want to give your view on the issue, you can do that. So you don't need to worry. That WhatsApp number, you don't need to worry. But what's next, Paul? I think what's next is, I am thinking that there is more to do, especially in this electoral process. And who need to do those things? The politicians, the political parties, the opposition. You know, like the CDC or hate them. This is one group that believe in themselves. Whether they're doing stupid thing, they believe in it. Whether they're doing the right thing, they believe in it. No, let me tell you. You see your citizen, one see this man naked and walking in the street, and he say you're drumming. All the other people naked and say what behind him? Because they believe in what they do. So opposition stay there fighting and doing this and doing that. And CDC is cleverly putting into place mechanism by which they can cleverly and cunningly rig these elections that people will not have any way or go to the Supreme Court will not do anything. So I think now is about time that is the opposition will agree on certain things. I'm not saying they should agree and say Joe Walker can go be president, Kwame can go be vice president, Tiawan Koglo can go be vice president to Kwame. No, that's not what I'm saying. I am saying there are a lot of things that the opposition can agree on. Number one, they can all agree on strategies to put this whole electoral process in check. If possible, let all the opposition parties form a group, have a representative that can, check every step of the way with this process, that they will report back to their various political parties. That we can do. You don't have to be vice president to anybody to do that. ANC can nominate 2 people, Liberty Party, all the other parties can nominate people, and you all go and watch the process. Because if we wait until election time, after the election, the numbers come out, you will be fighting with numbers, and the number will be displayed. What can you do when the number says we get 1 million people more than you? You fight, you go to the Supreme Court. At the end of the day, they will show the number. But right now, it's the time. Even if the opposition discovers that things are not going right, and they can call for a postponement of the election, it will be even better to postpone the elections than waiting until election happen, then you get to go to court. We saw it in 2020. I mean, in 2017, when Councilor Bronski went to court, people were talking, oh, we tired waiting. Let's just stay there. Liberia people, we are very passive. We are very lackadaisical. We drag ourselves. We are very sluggish. The thing that affects us, when we not dread, we can't make it. We say, let's just forget it. Let's just be like that. So I think right now is a time for the opposition to begin to move. I'm not talking about that. I'm not saying talking that they should go and form coalition. That thing is late. But you
My
can
man,
agree. There are certain things that you can agree on.
why the opposition must do this? And I don't know what you make of this one here, because that thing you talking say, yeah, the opposition do this. There's a court case pending on one of the opposition leader. So the time it will take to put resources together, I think each of them, because Unity Party was in office yesterday, it's a big party. They get numbers, they get people to go out there and do what they have to do. Let my advice, the other people do what they can do, because what happened here is, with all the noise, with all the 400,000 people that are in the vault, they can spread them all over the place. Then the 7% Mr. Cummings get, he can spread it all over the place too. So we can see it. Because remember, they're not 20 people this time. That other election was 20%. This time it far less. So that unity you're talking about, strategy wise, that makes sense. So this is the time to spread out the 400,000 people that are sitting in the vault, so we can see if they can help in that process. And the day of election too, the poll watcher become very important people.
Yeah, but this is where they should be cooperating. This is where they should be, putting all their focus and say, no, listen, we see this thing far ahead. Let us now wait. It's just like you sitting down, you see the cloud building, and the thunderstorm coming, and you're in an open terrain. The wind will come and beat you. The thunder will be striking, and you're sitting down watching it, and you know the danger. What will happen to you? But you're not doing anything. You wait until when the thunderstorm comes, then you begin to run, which is more dangerous. So it's good to take precaution. But Liberians being who they are, they will wait. No, let me tell you, Paul, the time I know Liberian men is scared of nothing. In fact, they can't prevent anything. When the war will come in, people say, oh, that war will not reach here. War will start away in Buto. The war not can't reach Obanga. They say, man, the people not coming anywhere. The walking a reach Okagana, they say, hey, man, your way, man. A reach offender, they say, I say, nothing happening. The war was fighting Omega, they say, I think that coming. Some people still believe that war will not enter Monrovia. You see, so Liberian men will do not take precaution. Ebola, when Ebola started out in Liberia, it started out in Liberia in March. I left in April. People say, "Oh man, that people who eating a lot, no Ebola, maybe I'll eat my dry meat." Yeah, my man, Liberia man, they say, "Oh me, I'll eat my dry meat. I'll eat
My
my dry
man.
monkey." So
So
they're not
no, no,
taking
don't be
precaution
calling
now.
monkey here like the animal right control. Don't be doing no kind of thing, because the
Oh
thing
no,
now.
but yeah, they didn't see me eating it.
Yeah,
So
but
yeah, but so you see, the point I'm trying to make is that Liberia or in Liberia, the people they will wait, they will be sluggish, they will not take prevention. Liberian men can only hear no man, you can't hear move from there. We're telling them now, we're telling the opposition parties, all of your collaboration team, the John Brown will be for president, Peter Mary will be secretary, and that's what we're talking about. You select people from among your groups so that you can form a formidable force that will counter this government in whatever they're doing. I mean, all the parties, they are not brain drain. We got cool computer analysts. We got a lot of people that can work on computer, that know about the data thing. And all. You're some people, it's your right. It's the right of the opposition parties to do that. So what are they waiting for?
well, they're doing it in other places in Liberia. I saw that people are doing it, and so you saw what happened on the old road when Yeka Koluba was tipped off of this woman that was registering sedition,
Mm-hmm.
because those represented the representative they have, that they were able to tip Yeka off on that. So they're doing it. People sit down quietly and observe. So they need to do more, because it's also require money and
Mm-hmm.
feeding. So that's some of the thing. When you don't have money to this, where the government will corner you. So I think we look at, but we need a transition, Linford.
Yeah, the final thing that we need to talk about, I think, is the Liberty Party case where the Supreme Court has ruled. Is that what you want to talk about or something
Before
else?
we go there, I want to say something too. The former vice president
Hmm.
was sued by his nephew regarding land issues, and I got a detail from the courthouse, the case. I got the details, and Front Page Africa also carry it. So look at this. What do you think of this? This is the man who, he was taken to court by his nephew regarding land. And this is going to drag on too, because while this time, something about the former vice president, and before we transition, I also want to talk, Rescue One said something about the former vice president. And also, the late Charles Walker Bronsky also, I got a video clip. He says similar thing that what Rescue One said.
Say Rescue 2.
Rescue 2. Should we do that on Friday?
No, you can do it now because we've been talking about the characters of the people who want to run. So and I said we're going to talk about people who know them, what people know about them, and what we know about them, or what we're going to be discussing. So you can play that video.
Right. So this is Rescue 2 on Rescue 1.
No fresh ideas. Joe Biden is not able to run this country. He's a dead man walking. He's a dead man walking. And I cannot support a dead man walking. I will not support wicked Nukwe, the people who raise the budget on you, the people who raise, taxes on you, on water, on essential commodities. They raise taxes on you. And some of you support these people. They have destroyed your lives. You have a legislator in Liberia making over 200.
So that is Rescue 2 on Rescue 1. And this is quite
do you have the other clip, the one I sent you?
Let me see if I have the other. Yes, I have the other clip.
Okay, let's hear it.
Yeah, that other clip is interesting too.
Then you make a comparison between the two statements.
Joining George Weah, and they will defeat communists because the CPP already destroyed themselves. They are not able to stand before George Weah and do anything. Joseph Boakai is just a waste of time trying to say Joseph Boakai should be president. How can you take a man who is red? I'm not saying he will die tomorrow. I'm not wishing him death. But Jeremiah, let's be honest. The man is 80 some years, 82 years or so. He's 80 plus years old. The man can't even open an eye when he's sitting to his own house. The man goes to any party he's sleeping. The man cannot. He does not have new ideas. And those of you who are behind Joe Boakai, I don't know why Liberian people always make bad choices. We always make bad choices when Charles Luther King say, when he came my mind, came my power, I'll vote for you. They make Charles.
Okay, so there is a similarity between the two videos that you played. There is one more. I think there is one more that I want to play too, and because I want us to play these things so that we can hear what people who know the VP are saying. And this is not from us. This is from people who know him. This is people who like we said, will be talking about these people who want to lead us, the people who know them and what they can say about them. So let's hear this one. I think it was
not going to change. Joe Boakai has no fresh ideas. Joe Boakai is not able to run this country. He's a dead man walking. He's a dead.
Okay, now there is one thing between the two videos that I want us to know. What the two of them say what? Gibson Jeru, the guy in the red t-shirt, is a journalist. He used to work, I think he was editor-in-chief for the newspaper or one of those newspapers. Gibson Jeru, he and I practiced together. We've been journalists for years. During the war years, we practiced together. He said, Joe Boakai has no fresh idea. Saying that he'll be president is just a waste of time. Okay? Then Costa, who is posing to be Rescue 2, the vice president, is also telling us that this man has no fresh ideas. So you see, it's coming from people who in Nigeria, one little bar play in the street, or people who got voice, people listen to. Gibson Jeru has followers. Okay, he's been editor for a major newspaper for years. Okay, and then Costa is also a major voice. And by the way, today he had a press conference. sorry, speaking like a diplomat, already speaking like a first president, representing Joe Baka. But this is a man who's not supposed to have fresh idea. So you see, that's why we said that we'll be analyzing, the people, the characters of these people who want to lead us. And we'll be telling you, we can't on Mr. Coming through. We can't on all the people. Why the people say about them and say, Mr. Comey is a stranger. Mr. Comey cannot do this. Some people say Mr. Comey is good. Some people say JMB is good. George Weah is good. So we'll bring diverse views. We just want our viewers to know, or the public to know, who are these people who want to lead them. Paul, take it from there.
Rescue 1 have a character. Rescue 2 have a character. And I'm looking forward to that ticket to be announced, Rescue 1 and Rescue 2. Because Liberia deserve better. These people, they broke all what we call the CPP, and then the same people running around telling their surrogate to say, oh, they want opposition unity. The deception in our people is not for joke. And that ticket will be a formidable ticket to have Rescue 1 and Rescue 2. Since Rescue 2 have condemned Rescue 1, and other sources now are going after Rescue 1. Rescue 2, where he gone more than that. There are a lot of clips he made. And as time goes by, we're going to play them. So these people want to lead our country. And in Liberia, say, let police and police for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is good to talk about, to just put that and tell our people this is what we're getting into. And I see somebody who support Rescue 1 abusing here, so that's fine.
Yeah, no, Mary Parrot, I love my woman. I know
yeah, so that's
one woman somewhere there. She said that stupid show.
Yeah.
You're watching stupid show. So be a part of the stupid show.
Yeah.
Mary, welcome to the stupid show.
That's a new word in the Oxford Dictionary. That's
show.
great. But having said that,
yeah,
you see,
Mary, this is your home. Share the video. Share the stupid show to your post.
Yeah.
Let people watch it.
So let's transition on what you're saying about.
As the public knows, the Liberty Party, as it stands, people say is divided. There's a portion of Liberty Party that supports Chairman Musa Belete, who is chairman of Liberty Party and also chairman of the CPP. And there's another portion of people from the Liberty Party that follow their political leader, namely Kanga Lawrence. And the whole division came about from some misunderstanding inside the party. And this misunderstanding came when Liberty Party was already committed to join the CPP. In other words, the CPP, Liberty Party, was already inside as one Liberty Party. And then this confusion came inside the party. So when the confusion came inside the party, some people, the normally Kanga group, decided to leave the CPP. And when she was leaving, she took the people who believe in her, she took them along. And the other people who believe in Musa ability said, well, we'll stay with the party. We'll stay with the chairman. And so they've been to court. They started from the Elections Commission to go to the court, to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court finally ruled in the case. I don't want to go into the nitty-gritty of the case, what happened, but the Supreme Court ruled in the case, recognizing Musa ability as the legitimate chairperson. And also, one of the sticker issues that went to court is whether the document that was filed on behalf of the party by Musa Belete as chairman was legitimate. And the Supreme Court upheld that decision that was passed down from the lower court. And so that gives Musa Belete the strength to be the chairperson or the chairman of the party. Now, in other words, the Supreme Court, like I will put it, the Supreme Court, Musa Belete has teeth to bite. Maybe the teeth were not too sharp, but the Supreme Court had already sharpened his teeth that he can bite more. In other words, he can now take decisions that can affect the Liberty Party. But Musa Belete has been, or Chairman Belete has been on series of shows. He was on Spoon show first when this decision was, the very day the decision was made, and he said he wants peace. He wants the Liberty Party to go to status quo ante, meaning wherever they were before as a party, they should go there. They should all go back in house and make their peace. And just on Friday, he was also on the other show. How you call that?
Seku.
No, yeah, he being on Seku show. He said the same thing. Then he was on the new show. Final discussion. Final argument.
Closing argument.
Closing argument. He was on closing argument, and he said the same thing. So he's calling for peace. But again, right after the Supreme Court decision, we saw Nobly Kanga going to Paso to hold a press conference, still claiming to be the political leader of the Liberty Party, and making business in the name of the Liberty Party. And I think that didn't go down well with Chairman Belete. And so Chairman Belete came out strong a little bit and said nobody is allowed to do any business with Nyomli Kanga in the name of the Liberty Party. So it's like sanction, on Nyomli. So I think henceforth, starting from the very day the decision was handed down by the Supreme Court, even though a copy of the decision, as we understand, has not been distributed, probably it will be done this week, and the delay is due to, according to them, some typographical errors from the court, and so they need to correct that before they distribute it, because it's going to form a major document, and so it cannot go with any errors. And so I think henceforth, Chairman Belete will have authority now to take decision within the party. But that's what I see.
Well, I think it's about time, because the thing is, it's just a shame on those two people, Yumley and DeLon, to be honest with you. Sometimes you do things, if you're a party head, because of vice president said they decide to break their party into pieces, it's just wrong. It's just wrong. And I don't know, something is just not right. And I saw the post the last time, and I want to share this post. This guy called DeLon, I was in Liberia. When you call DeLon name, people get angry, say the man, he just lied to them and he deceived them. And I think DeLon might have a habit of deceiving people. And I think he misled this woman, Yumley, because she had this opportunity. The thing she wanted, she could have gotten it easily as a kingmaker, to be able, the queen maker, to be able to hold the vice presidency, even under Mr. Cummings. But the way things are, and most ability have been armed now to the teeth, so he can prosecute her when she goes somewhere and say she's a political leader. From what I've learned, she's been expelled from the party. But look at this photograph. This guy called DeLon. Look at this.
She's not actually expelled from the party.
Well, the thing is, she was suspended before,
yeah, but she's expelled from the position.
She was expelled from the position because, as what we are being told, her tenure expired a long time. It was last year, August. So she's not a political leader. This guy called Darren DeLon, the picture you see up there, he's so confident holding this woman's hand, pulling her here and there. I think he been misleading this woman for a long time, and it's not good for her.
Yeah,
so
but
now
this is not a child. The woman too can make decisions.
Well, I agree. So Musa
I'll back the loan.
You can back him. I don't care. You can back him. Musa Bedete now. The behavior of DeLon by making this woman now to make sound decision have given Musa Bedete an edge. That if she go about saying she political leader, he can prosecute her, the party, the executive of that party. And what their aim was to actually break off the CPP. Now, since this backfire now, because remember the CPP men who hold a convention and the Liberty Party men who hold a convention, they took them to Supreme Court to hold on to this. So the CPP now, they're having a convention. What become of them? Because they will just talk and talk. She had the opportunity to go back to the party, take control of her party. She refused and listened to DeLong. So she didn't. She didn't do her homework right.
You know, the entire thing. I think it was a great disappointment on my part, especially from Dillon, because if anybody in their right mind would have done anything sensibly, the right thing to have been done, or the person should have done, in the case of Dillon, was not to take a side very, very early from
That's
the
right.
onset of the case, because the case against Mr. Cummings, but again, what happened was that they were all convinced that this, yes, we've been trying to get this Cummings man out of the way, but this court case is the final straw that will break the back of the camel. So we're going to drag him to the court when he's guilty, because that was a criminal case, though. So when he's guilty, he will be fighting against the state. The state might incarcerate him. And of course, both the state and the breakaway people, they were all in one shoes to prosecute Mr. Cummings. So they would have presented a case and say, well, this is a man. It's like delivering Jesus Christ to Pontius Pilate. Okay?
Yeah.
And here's a man. Do what you want to do with him. So it was left with the state now to say, okay, we'll jail him. The Serena Silva said, we'll jail him for X number of years, or we'll take him to far place like Belayala and let him be there out of the political space. But it didn't work that way. So they were disappointed. But my disappointment here with Dillon is that he was elected overwhelmingly 2 different times under a united CPP. So why would Dillon, it's like our mother and father born us, they feed us, we grow up, then you turn right, take gun and shoot your mother and father. You don't appreciate anything. So even if you did shoot your mother and father and you remain orphan, who you think will come to your aid? Nobody. Everybody be afraid of you. So right now, if you put Dillon and anybody, I'm not even talking about someone's father, but take Dillon and put him against one lady Zogo, they'll beat him in Monserrado County, because everybody knows that he's
there was a revelation that there was some revelation took place on the same day. Dillon went after the founding father of the Liberty Party daughter, because she did apply to run on the CPP ticket. And Dillon was saying, my little sister, yummy little sister, come home, and where you stand, one day you behind closed door, the next day here, we'll go to you. That was you can't be preaching all side along it. The woman is a lawyer. She know that the CPP is a registered political party on her neck. That's why when they did the signing this few days at the Farmington Hotel, Mr. Cummings and Musa Beriti were there to sign on behalf of the CPP. He didn't sign as ANC. She did apply to run on the CPP ticket for District Number 3 in Grand Bassa County. And now Dillon is going after her. So what his loyalty? Because Charlene have gone with Musa Beriti, they angry. And they turning the thing into travel thing. That Bassa party. What is this guy doing with Bassa? I just don't understand that anymore. So
the bottom line here is that when people have struggled, when they have fought to destroy something and they cannot make it anyway, they will find all kinds of means. What is the relevance of saying that the Liberty Party is a Bassa party? Then why you got people like Steve Zago from Lofa County?
Exactly.
Okay, and beside that, they got their branches all over the country. So why they couldn't just operate in Grand Bassa County? So you see, I don't understand that. But again, it's like when people, like, a drowning man will hold on to anything. Even if you give him a two-edged sword, he will hold on to it. So, they're looking for a way to redeem themselves. But again, let's wait. The decision has been taken by the Supreme Court, but that does not bring a full closure to the case, because it's like what the Supreme Court did was, you've gone through all this, going to neck and thing, but all of the cases you brought, or all the complaints you brought, we cannot go into all, because some of them are irrelevant to the whole, they are immaterial to the whole discussion. So the 2 points that they took out was whether Musa Belidi was legitimate chairman and whether he had a right, or the document that he presented was correct. And the Supreme Court said yes. So then it's like you go back home. All the thing you brought, you get 2 children fighting in the country, or you look at the 2 people, you say you're good sinner, you're forgetting, you're good sinner. So a leader then had to come and make peace, or if they normally fashion feel that, oh, Musa Belidi is still not a legitimate chairman, or his position as chairman, or the document he presented was questionable and will not certify, they can go by the court. The Supreme Court is not stopping them, so the case is far over. But they can also seize that moment to, in the interest of peace and in the interest of their party, especially with elections approaching, they can seize that moment to mend their fences and come back together. Because for me, I feel that, to make peace is never late. Like, we can be sitting here today
these
talking
people
without
are
fighting
not
war.
waiting to make peace. I mean,
At one point, they could.
No, but look, when Musa Belidi did, after that ruling came out, the next, the same day, he was on spoon to say, look, I only want unity among us. He appeared on 3 different platforms and he was calling for unity.
Yeah, but remember, Paul, that this is a fracas that have existed among group of people. So you don't just expect one man can say, okay, I call for peace, then everybody get on board.
No, but since the ruling came out towards his way, and he reached out according to him, that's why he said on Sekou Kone program that he reached out to Delon, he reached out to Yomi, they refused to talk to him. But he was talking about, we want to unify our party. None of the other people, they had a platform for us to say, look, although the Supreme Court have done a ruling, let's reach out to Musa Belidi and see how we can come around our party. But it went on a rampage. This is the Bassa People Party. So you preaching travel line already, then how will you have peace?
Sometimes I try to question how people think, how Liberian people think. Somebody there is saying some of these guys are dishonest. All sides of the political parties in the original CPP played dirty games to outsmart the other. You guys are only protecting your own devils and destroying others. Deception and hurry. Yeah, it depends on understanding.
Exactly.
These are the people, and some people, let me tell you, some people just walk in the street. They just walk in the street, they pick on one thing, then the wrong way. They don't even analyze what delegate they all of the so all of the parties, if you can get outline what all of the parties did, they play delegate. Yeah, because there are 4 parties, and you say all of the parties. So just, you stay on the line. Just outline what Liberty Party did, what ANC did, what Benona Party, I call it ALP did, and what UP did. Outline them, because you already indicted all of them. You say all of them play dirty role. So outline it, and you will not. I bet you will not even outline what the UP did, what all the other party did. But you just wrong with, the small man.
But he wrote in a way the ALP, the UP, and Yomni Uno Liberty Party, they joined with the government and for to prosecute one person.
Yeah, what's CPP did? They say all of them.
Yeah, all of them. He right, all of those bad parties to prosecute.
Okay, so but if you're telling me about the other 3 now, you tell me what the CPP did.
That's what I'm saying about the other man, because he got away from the case and decided not to go by himself.
Paul, don't back this brother. Simeon Wars. Yeah, Simeon Wars. I don't think out of your right mind you're saying this thing. You see.
No, I think just leave him.
He's one of our audience. We got to let him know that when we're not protecting anybody. We're hitting hard at everybody. We're not protecting anybody. I'm not interested in anybody. why should I protect Joe Bwaka when I don't benefit from him? Why should I protect Mr. Cummings when I don't benefit from him? Why should I protect Normally Kanga? I don't benefit from her. I don't even know them. So if you come and accuse us of protecting our own devils, well, that's your decision. But again, opinions are free. If people were paying money for the words that we choose to use, if we're paying bills for the words, we'll be very careful in selecting what we say. But again, welcome our senior, make this place your home. Always come and enjoy the protection that we give people. Probably one day we'll protect you too. Welcome, share the video to your friends. But I will urge you to always think the other way around. And I think, Paul, on that note, I don't know if there's anything more you want to say, but I think we've said enough. And the exercise we started today, we'll microscope all these people. We'll put everybody under the microscope one by one. And people who know them, and we're not asking anybody to just take a phone and call me and say, you know what, I know Joe Bwaka will corrupt. You gotta give me. In fact, if I don't know you, I'll not even talk to you, because we will be talking with people who know these people well, people who have interacted with them, and we'll like I said, we'll microscope all of them. Whatever you've done before, who know you, what you want to do for the Liberian people, for which you want them to elect you. Those are the things that we'll be focusing on fast forward to election day.
Right. Thank you, Leifo. I just want to tell our audience, for those of you for the first time that following us, like our hit the like button when we come on. You'll be notified. We're on the bottom line radio, and you can find us on Twitter, on MyTuning, we're everywhere. I just want to say something here as we go forward for the next 4-5 months, because the election in the next 5 months. People who want to lead our country, let's look at the standard of which we live in the West. People pick people based on what they will benefit from the people that they're going to vote for. It's not based on popularity. My good friend, His Excellency George Manawia, based on popularity, we gave him the country. Today, have people life changed? That's the question. Are they better off now or in the past, for the past 5 years? Fast forward, former Vice President Joseph Nima Bwaka, he served the country for over 40 years, and he served with Eden. They had the most money to change Liberia. Today, where we are, the future now is Mr. Cummings, who have not served the country, and he came down with his 5 pillars. So we are asking people to listen and read what these people are saying. Let them pick the best person, instead of saying, oh, this person popular, so we put this person there. This person served for 100 years, we put them there. But that have not changed Liberia. We want Liberia to be like other countries, that we were that bear. When I left Liberia with a long passport like this. That passport, it was a gold dust in the world. Today, take Liberian passport to go to any embassy, they will put it in a bin. We want our mama Liberia to be the way we were when we were small. So we need to pick the best candidate at this time to drive Liberia, put Liberia in that gear. And for me, I see Mr. Cummings as that change agent to transform Liberia. And this is what I'm seeing. I have taken SAR. I've seen, among what I've seen, he have the best policy now for Liberia. If we mean well for ourselves and for Liberia and our children, they should pick the best person. Teron is also there making his case, but they should stop this nonsense with this opposition unity that we should coronate somebody because the person served for 100 years. It's about time we pick the best candidate and vote the best person for better Liberia. So on that note, Linford, I would say thanks to all our audience that are following us. They must always come, and we will dissect everyone. The next time we'll have Sima Freeman, Taiwan Gongo on a policy, those who want to lead the country, and we'll do the comparison analysis. So that's my take. And I would say thanks to our audience.
Yeah, and just before I give my final word, I just highlighted this statement by Joseph Dawala Hutchinson. He's making a salient point here. We need change, but how do we get a change? The only way we can bring that change is to register and vote. You know, I've told you before, God is not going to come down and move Joshua. No way. No way. No man can go move Joshua now. It will be grand. Let me put it like that way. It will be kata kata. So the easy way to do, make your life easy. I remember when I was in school, I had an Indian guy who was teaching us, and he would always tell us, make your life easy. Here's a man who bring you almost 50 PowerPoint with 250 items on one PowerPoint. Then he telling, oh, we should make our life easy. So I asked him, I said, well, how do we make it life easy? Making the thing difficult. He said, look for the easiest way. So the easiest way to move nature here, my people, is go and register and go in a ballot box and choose the candidate of your choice. My friend, you've been suffering for the past 5 years, 6 years. You cannot afford another 6 more years. Simple logic. Georgia wanted to go 2 terms, right? So if you know that men were going to do the best time you're going to do it was the first 6 years. Because why? Ask yourself why. The reason is because he will want you to come and say, yeah, my grace. Okay, like if you send your son to school and your son wants you to continue sending him to school and your son will perform well, the first semester you'll bring a grace. When you see your son going on a road, you get blue, oh, you say, yeah. Even if I'll not buy clothes for myself, but I'll pay my son's school fee. But the first semester, your son bring a gracie all red, 0, 10, 40, 50. You think you will say put money behind to send? You question him. You say, why you want me to send you back to school when you can't pass? So it's the same thing. Joshua had already brought a grade sheets to your CA, a ray, no blue mindset. So that is the same kind of man you want to take again, you'll go and register. Hutchinson, I agree with you 100%. And so, but my father
let me add to him that some of us are taking that bold step to register like mine. That's my voter registration card, and I'll be one of the people making a change. And I encourage people on the ground to actually register.
I'm going to my country. My country is in the second group. I'm going to one country.
So the second phase now that's taking place, we're encouraging people to register. They have the democratic right. Their one vote could change the situation on the ground.
Right.
And we'll be in the trenches of the country, talking to people to register. We need a better Liberia. Liberia is just bad. Or you enter Liberia today, tears set in your eyes. We want a good Liberia. And we've been praying. That's why I'm saying when people will always go to church, they pray that God should send leader. And God has sent one of the best in the world. That I've spoken to some English people here when they say, what Liberia is like that. One of the best manager in the world have decided to put his hand in the race because he know things not going right in Liberia. And the people telling him say he fell down from heaven like he was not born in Liberia. He must be 79 in 2029. Then they will make him president. I don't know what country will come from. We don't listen what the best for our people. This is the saddest time. So we'll make the case, we'll keep pushing and preaching the message and making comparison among all of them. And what we show here today, what President Weah said, what Omer Barker said, and what Cummings said will add Taiwan to it. And this will be it will be air in Liberia so people can have to make the right decision. We're not telling them, but let them listen and make the right decision. We need Liberia. And somebody, Lucretia just said, look here, lack of education suffering our people. So we need to make the case. We really need to make a case for a better Liberia. It's a shame that Liberia is in the situation it is in. Yeah. So, Linford,
okay.
I think our audience been with us a while now.
I don't think I have anything more to say.
If you don't have anything more to say,
yeah,
then
we've said enough.
Yeah. we'll close the show with the number one hit that we can't say all.
Man can say all.
Any
Don't listen for
party
tomorrow.
message for our audience? Man can say all.
Yeah, we can say all. Let's listen for tomorrow for Friday.
Yeah. So on Friday we'll be back at the same time, Bottle Line.
And we hope to have a guest as well.
Definitely.
So,
yeah.
So
on that note, we'll say thanks for being with us. We love you all. Keep following us. The show we're here to stay after the 5 months. Bottle Line continue. So it's a European platform, and we're looking forward for a greater Bottle Line. So I'll say thanks to everybody for following us, and I'll leave you with the number one hit. We can't say all.
Men can talk all. Yeah, sometimes, yeah. Amen. Men can talk all. Yeah, men can talk all. Men can talk all. Fucker, men can talk all. Men can talk all.
Switch it up, baby.
Yeah. Men can talk all. Men can talk all. Amen. Men can talk all. Fucker, men can talk all. Men can talk all. Yeah. Men can talk all. Men can talk all. Amen. Men can talk all. Fucker, men can talk all. Men can talk all.
Let me read for you. Everybody again read. Let me read for you. Let me read for you. A read does. A constituent pastor.
Yeah. Men can talk all. Men can talk all. Amen. Men can talk all. Fucker, men can talk all. Men can talk all. Yeah. Men can talk all. Men can talk all. Amen. Men can talk all. Fucker, men can talk all. Men can talk all.
Everything Mama Gay have done is with the consent and with the acquiescence. That's the correct English, right?
Go and ask your grandfather.
Continue.
You say you like that?
Men can talk all. Men can talk all. Amen. Men can talk all. Fucker, men can talk all. Men can talk all. Yeah. Men can talk all. Men can talk all.